Drill Sergeant here. What's going on, Grill Billies? In today's episode, I'm going to show you how we make simple, old-fashioned, delicious beef jerky. I mean, come on, who doesn't love beef jerky? I mean, I want to be a level of rich where beef jerky prices in the store don't bother me, but right now they do. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make beef jerky on the cheap. So let's fire up the smoker and let's start the show. Now I bet if you're watching this video, you love beef jerky as much as I do. But have you seen those beef jerky prices lately? It's like inflation even hit the beef jerky market, and I'm like, man, we gotta take matters into our own hands. Now, when you see how easy it is to make beef jerky, you'll be like, why haven't I been doing this sooner? So first, you're gonna wanna start with the beef. This is eye of round. Now, the cool thing is you can go up to your butcher and literally ask for eye of round and cut it thin. They'll cut it 1/4 inch thick. That's a good place to start. And then from there, we are going to make our marinade. Now I will be putting all the recipe and notes in the description. Let's cut in this bad boy and let's get to work. All right, got my gloves on. Let's cut into this package. We have our eye of round here. It will pretty much come in strips like this. So we're gonna take our knife right here. You're just gonna cut the eye of round in half. So you'll take that, take the next one. And this part is easy. Now they do make beef jerky slicers, and it's this machine that's pretty cool. You know, crank it out, it has metal blades, and it will cut your beef jerky nice and thin for you. But it's so much easier just to tell the butcher, can you please cut this into 1/4 strips for me. If you see like a lot of fat on one of the pieces, you can actually get rid of that. The funny thing is when we look at, you know, really nice steaks, you're going to want to find as much marbling as possible. And with beef jerky, it's the opposite. The fat is what's actually going to spoil the beef jerky. So you really want to find a piece of eye of round that doesn't have a lot of intermuscular fat. And if you do make friends with your butcher, if there is some fat or silver skin on it, you could say, hey, can you just discard that before you start slicing it thin? And most of the time they will actually hook you up and do that for you. I'm gonna finish cutting these in half, and then we're gonna prep our marinade, so I'll see you in a bit. All right, so we got our jerky all cut up. The recipe listed below in the description is gonna cover about 2 pounds, and then you can adjust accordingly. Right now, we are going to prep our marinade. Here we have a 1/4 cup. This is low sodium soy sauce. Now I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of low sodium Worcestershire sauce. W sauce, let's just call it that. 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke, and this is mesquite liquid smoke. From there we have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and now we have 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. We have 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of meat tenderizer, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And that's pretty much it for the marinade. And then you can just basically stir this up. It definitely helps taking notes. You know, I started with the recipe and I would just keep on jotting notes like, oh, next time I'm gonna use half of this. And my kid said it had too much pepper to it. Okay, let's try cutting the pepper in half and then really just dialing it in. So definitely take lots of notes. So now all you gotta do is just get a plastic bag. And what I like doing is I like putting some of these strips in here, and then I'll pour a little bit of our marinade in. I'll take some more, put these in, put a little bit more marinade. And you just want these to get nice and evenly coated with this goodness. So I'll put the rest in here. And again, this is a 2-gallon batch, so you can adjust how much marinade you need. So now we got this goodness. So I'm just gonna lay this flat, zip it up. So I'll put this in the refrigerator, laying down just like this. In the morning, I'll flip it over, and that gives a chance for that marinade to then soak through it again. And then I will see you guys back in 24 hours. Boom. All right, we are back. I got my little grill assistant with me right here. Oh, you are just crazy right now. And so we have the beef jerky that's been marinating.
Yes.
Oh man, this smells so good. But I figure, do you generally like the beef jerky that's been coming off the smoker? Yeah, right? So for pellets, I'm going to be using a 50-50 blend of applewood and charcoal pellets. Now, I kind of wanted to go with like a harder wood, but I was talking with Chad from Busted Knuckle Jerky, and he's saying you'd actually want to use a lighter, fruitier wood rather than the jerky being very, very smoky. I have out 2 racks right here. I'm going to have my son, he's going to load up this rack, I'm going to load up this rack. You are just the star of the show, aren't you? So I have the smoker set at 170, and I'm going to be having the meat on for about 5 or 6 hours. If your smoker only goes down to 180 or 200, those times are probably going to be a little bit quicker, but generally ballpark, I'm going to be checking back in 5 hours, see what they look like. There's a test to know when they're done or right about done, so I'm going to show you that. So let me get you some gloves, Izzy. So we got the meat. Okay, so smell that. Boston. All right. So I'm basically going to open this up like this. All right. We're going to get all this flavor goodness right here. So now the trick is you're going to want to just lay it on, and you don't want them touching each other. You just kind of want to let there be some space. You're going to want all that smoke to go all around. So Izzy, see how I'm doing it right here? Just like that. Perfect. All right, so we got the 2 trays loaded up. I'm going to open up the smoker. So I'm going to put this one on the top rack, right here.
Top rack, that's going to go on the bottom rack.
No, you silly goose.
Middle rack.
There you go, middle rack.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
All right, so we got the beef jerky.
In there.
Yeah, we have the beef jerky in there. We're going to close it up.
Close it up smooth.
And now we're going to let the smoker do the heavy lifting. I'm going to take this kid inside and start tickling him.
No!
Yep, oh yeah. So we'll see you back in 5 hours, all right? Come here. How you going? Come here. All right, this jerky's been bathing in smoke for a little over 5 hours now. So I'm going to show you what to look for when it's ready to pull. All right, so we have our jerky here. So pretty much for the pieces, when you fold them in half, you don't want them to actually break apart. It doesn't actually snap, and you can kind of see some white fibers in here. That is a good sign right there. It should still be pliable, but it really shouldn't break apart. And the next thing, go in and take a bite. It should be really dry, but also really tender. That is good. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna start putting all the beef jerky in here. I'm gonna seal this bad boy up. Then we're gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it chill overnight. And we will tune back tomorrow to check on them. It's gonna be so good. All right, it's the next day. This beef jerky has been chilling in the refrigerator overnight. So I'm gonna dig in right now and taste some, but you know you can't eat this alone. All right, taste testers, come on out here.
John Cena!
You guys ready to taste some epic beef jerky? All right, dig in.
Is this the same jerky you made?
Yeah, this is what we made yesterday. What do you think, Ivy?
So good.
What do you think, Ezra?
Great.
So this is a small plate of the 2-pound batch that we made. And so the jerky usually lasts us about a week. So it's not too bad to get our beef jerky fix. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comment section. Do make sure to hit that like button.
Right on there, and make sure to hit the bell.
And hit the bell button.
For notifications. Hit the subscribe button now.
Yeah, don't forget about the subscribe button.
Don't miss any new videos.
That's right.
Don't miss the October.
What happens if they miss a new video?
Then they will be executed like Squid Game. No,
Why are you so silly right now?
Susie.
You're Susie?
Susie, I'm Susie.
You're not Susie.
I am Susie.
You're not Susie.
I am Susie. You're Susie. Everyone's Susie.
Everyone's Susie? Hi, I'm Susie here, and welcome back to our...
Susie! Hi. Hi.
All right, this is an audio test.
Bum 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 bum.